Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about 5 different ways to quote unquote keep your hands up in a fist fight, in a boxing fight, okay? So in the context of boxing, just striking with your hands, you go into any boxing gym, and I've been in a few of them throughout my life, and one of the first things they tell you is keep your hands up. It's like one of the first things they teach you, besides footwork, is keep your hands up, right? Keep your hands close to your chin, keep your chin tucked, hands close to your chin. I used to think that was the only way to do it. I used to think that's the only way to box, but that's just simply not true. So I've been doing some research and researching different boxers and everything, and there's at least 6 different ways to protect yourself, quote unquote keep your hands up. Number 1 is to obviously keep your hands up high, keep your chin tucked in, and keep your hands up, right? That's gonna allow you to, it's probably one of the most basic ways to defend yourself. Obviously you're blocking your face and your chin. If you're wearing gloves, which in the street you're not, but in a boxing fight, it does give you some good cushion to protect your face. So that's good. And then from here, you can do different attacks from here, right? You got your jabs, your 1-2s, your hooks, right? All off of just this base here. Now number 2 is what they call like a cross guard. It's like in the form of an X, and you see fighters like George Foreman use this to effectively, shield their face from punches. This could be effective as well, in the sense that you're using your elbows and your arms to block yourself. So you're kind of going like here, you know what I mean? You got your elbow in the way there. If that was a punch, it's going to slide right off your elbow, or it's going to hurt somebody's hand. If they're punching you right in the elbow, it's going to hurt them, right? So you got this way to do it, and then from here, you can launch your own attacks here. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Cover up. That's another way to do it. And each of these has its own pros and cons, right? Obviously, here you're doing this, you're leaving yourself vulnerable for body punches. Not only that, if you have some kind of high guard like this, you're susceptible to uppercuts. Whereas with the first guard, you can kind of close the guard to block body punches. You can lower yourself to block body punches, and then your face is covered. So that's different from this guard here. I think this one's pretty effective. You can cover a lot, really protect yourself from getting hit in the face, but you are leaving your body wide open there. The next guard is what we can call an L guard or a Philly shell. You'll see this mostly with fighters like Floyd Mayweather, James Toney, although from my research apparently there are even little minor nuances in this guard between those 2 fighters. But basically in an L guard, you have your arm like an L. Well, you have your hands like an L, right? This is the top part of the L, this is the L right here. And you're kind of defending yourself like this. You're defending your body, and you're defending the side of your head, right? And you'll see Mayweather kind of use defense. He'll let fighters punch him in the shoulder, but not even though. It'll kind of roll off from there. So this is kind of a good defensive guard. You get hit in the shoulder, come back with your own, right? You get hit in the shoulder, boom, boom, come back with your own. You can launch attacks from here, boom. Really good defensive guard, but you got to be a little bit slick in using it. James Toney, really good as well. Allowed him to kind of get low with it. He would get low with that Philly shell guard. So really, I like it. Keeps your jabbing arm loose, not all tense, and you get all tired up here. Just keeps you nice and loose. You're able to throw your jabs from from the bottom here, which leads me to my next guard. Way to protect yourself is going to be the low guard. Now this is probably the most dangerous guard. I don't recommend you do this, especially if you're as slow as I am, because you probably will get knocked out. But the low guard, man, just have your hands low. Just have your hands low. You're relying on torso movement to get you out of the way of these punches, okay? Okay? You're gonna get out of the way with, and you're gonna throw punches from a low stance. Boom, 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 boom. You're gonna get out of the way. Okay? You're gonna use footwork to get out of the way. Muhammad Ali comes to mind as really good with the low guard. Anderson Silva, MMA fighter, former UFC champion. He used to use the low guard a lot, but one of the highlights is that he gets caught. He was a little older when he got caught. He got caught moving around, but it's really effective if you're fast. Gotta be fast. I would say use it in spurts. Like there's moments in a fight where you're just kind of flowing, you're in the zone, you're flowing, right? Boom, boom. But then, come back to your base guard. Then we got some, what we call a long guard. Now this is where you're just gonna, your hand's gonna be out there, kind of blocking your opponent's face. I've seen this lead to a lot of eye pokes in MMA. John Jones, okay? Now if you're in a street fight, and this opponent's tough, man, it's a tough opponent, you don't really know how to win this fight without cheating, then maybe you just kind of put your hands out there. If you poke an eye, screw it. If you poke an eye, dude. It happens. In MMA, you shouldn't do that, obviously, but that's just kind of how it goes. In boxing, you'll see fighters like Dmitry Bivol, right? You'll have the long guard. He'll just paw it out there. When you're wearing gloves, it allows you to block your opponent's vision, so they can't really see. Okay, so you're blocking their field of vision. Boom. That way they don't see what's coming after that. This one's it's tiring on the shoulder. If you're gonna do it for a bunch of rounds like I do, it tires out the shoulder. So doing this leads me to the conclusion of I need more shoulder stamina because I get tired when I do that. But this is a really good guard in the context of boxing. In the context of just a self-defense situation, if you know how to kick and you got your hands out there blocking his face, well then, boom, just block him. Boom, boom. Obviously protect yourself. Boom. But this is good. Now, there's nuances to everything, and you don't want to leave your hand out there for your opponent to grab and throw you, right? So don't just leave your hand out there for somebody to grab and throw you, okay? I think that was like five guards. Now the last one is going to be, I'm not going to do a whole thing about it, but because it's really tough. It's the Mike Tyson, the peekaboo guard. It's kind of the high guard, but you also have a lot of the torso movements of the low guard, okay? But you have it with the high guard. This is a really high guard. Like you're really protecting yourself here. So I did a whole video on me trying to do it. So if you want to watch it, go ahead. It's fine. I'm not an expert on all this stuff. I'm just really passionate about self-defense, and I'm a big proponent of people should know how to defend yourselves. Just gives you confidence in yourself and in your daily life. So thank you guys for watching my video. If you like it, hit that like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care.